Hi there. I'm Lisa Loring, and I am here to do a tarot card reading and not random thoughts, they're never random, um, thoughts about what's going on. How are you? This card, it's been real, right? Yeah. Anyway, legit, I had like every archangel out today. Call on your angels, call on your guides. There's definitely a huge Knight of Swords energy going on this week. Knight of Swords are communication, thoughts, and it's a real balance. Balance, balance, balance. Was the message I got this morning. And the interesting, I saw in one of my readings or whatever, balance is created. Where the heck was it? I'll find it. Great, great reading. You know what? I think it's over here. Give me a second. Balance is created. It's not something that we can seek. It's created. Something along those lines. It was much more clever than the way I'm saying it right now. There it is. Balance is not something you find. It's something you create. It's a quote by Jana Kingsford. I don't know who that person is, but the image was really cool. It was about it has, I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to try to show it. Those are cairns, all on a fallen tree. Those are all, if you don't know what a cairn is, it's a bunch of rocks like stacked up, those ones you see like when you go hiking, or there's signposts, there's signposts. As you're going along, you see one of those, it's kind of like, oh no, go this way, or you're on the right path, that kind of thing. Cairns, the word cairns came up, and the way it's spelled is Cairns. Cairns. It's Celtic. But yeah, it's balance is created, and and sometimes we have to see signs and to look around. It's important to look around us, not just be down like here, It's important. We have to look up and around to sometimes see those markers that we are on the right path. And when we have this kind of energy that's going around, which is, this is very, so I said Knight of Swords energy, but this is the Eight of Swords. Again, these are the thoughts that can make us really forget to even look around, right? And be just super ultra fearful and and think that everything is bad. And this February has this energy of I talked about it last week, and it was something that I think it was in the monthly reports for the Serious Joy community, that I didn't listen to them, but this overarching theme of what I gleaned at any rate was things are falling apart in order to come together. But when that's happening, we are all grabbing on in these really unskillful ways. Like we're grabbing on to, we keep things balanced. Well, if you've ever watched a tightrope walker or anyone who's doing the more grabby, that that's, you're gonna fall. You're gonna fall. We have the skills to do this stuff, though. We do. It's just kind of new. Our situations are kind of new. And when we're in that kind of newness, like there's just like uncertainty on top of uncertainty. And it's like all of those, but we're piling all of those rocks on a cairn that is a signpost. That at some point we'll be able to look back toward and be like, oh yeah, I do see the way. I do see that I had what it took to stay the course. But there's a lot right now that's rocking us, and all these rocks and everything, and I'm surrounded by crystals. I have a shit ton of crystals over, but I'm calling in the supports that I need, including sitting here and doing this reading. This is something that I feel like I need to do in order to help me balance right now, to create balance, to give, to connect. That's why I'm doing it tonight, because I'm feeling like I need a particular kind of connection. And this is the best way that I can do it. So thank you for listening. Thank you for connecting with me. Yes, I do these to be helpful, but I also do them for me. I have things I want to share. And this is the way I like to express it. So we're going to use the Archangels deck, because I've been using them. And we're going to use the Flower Therapy deck. We'll use that today too. Be real. I love you. And I'm here for you. We're in this, it's so kind of overdone, but we're in this together. So let's start with the Archangels. And again, this will be a reading for at least, when did I do that reading? Saturday? Friday? Probably Friday. Maybe it was Saturday. Probably Friday, because I work at the hospital on Saturdays. And I get home kind of late. And maybe I did a reading. I don't know. Was it Sunday? No, it wouldn't have been Sunday. I was studying. I had a big exam. Anyway, so it was probably Friday. So anyway, I'm going to shuffle these up because I had pulled all the major arcana cards out. Major arcana, major signposts, right? The minor arcana, they basically like the aces through the 10. Those are like everyday energies, things that we deal with on the day-to-day. They're kind of like, things that we, can use to improve our day. Major arcana are those more major overarching archetypal themes, or that life is taking a really big new direction, or there's this thing and we really need to utilize this energy in order to make the changes that we need to make. So yeah, we'll use the Archangel deck today, and they are gonna need a little shuffling. Like I said, I pulled them all out in a clump because that's what I needed. What do you need? What do you do? Do you? Because lots of times we don't even admit that we need help. And when it comes, that was the reading, right? Now that I remember back, it's like we ask and we ask and we ask, but do we stop and actually listen? And that, as it turns out, has been very important. Do we stop? Do we look around to see or hear? And are our eyes actually seeing? Are we taking in with our senses? Are we blocking in our senses in some ways? Just seeing, refusing to see, refusing to hear, burying our heads in the sand. Ostrich energy came up earlier in the week for me. What do we have here? This one came up strong. Archangel Chamuel. There, you guys can see that. Life experience. This is the Tower card in the traditional tarot, where things are falling apart in order to come together. Because that's what's happening here. We've got a tower in the background. You can see that, right? But Archangel Chamuel is here to lead us into the unknown. That's his job. That's what he does. Right? Sorry, I just had some apples. I know you love when I do that. But yeah, he's here. A significant life event. That's a tower moment, right? I think I said. A powerful revelation that leads to change. Time to spread your wings. But he's here to lead us. And I think there are poppies I think that's what these are in this card, red poppies. Again, poppies are, a symbol of helping us transition into a different plane or a different life, a different way of being. The card number is 16. That's a number of spirituality that nets to a 7. And so, you've got the 1, which is a heart number. That's your heart. Those are your heartfelt things that break our hearts. Our hearts break when things fall apart. Don't they? I know. But we have to feel it all. And he's here to help us. So call upon Archangel Chamuel. And, archangels are not like for any particular religion. They're for everybody. They're for everyone. They don't care what brand you are, who you are, whether you believe in God or whatever. They're there. Just call on them. And he's here to help. Butterflies are there too. Transitions. Powerful revelation that leads to change. So yeah, there's, and here, and I guess the important thing I'm saying here is that you're supported. You're supported. Put your heart out there. That's the thing. We don't like to be authentic. We stop from being authentic. We don't say that we're hurting. We don't say that we're confused by what's going on. We just think we're supposed to have it all together until the tower crumbles, which, and we don't even want to see the tower crumbling. We're just trying to put it all back together. I'm going to angle the card down so you don't have to see me. Let's angle this down so y'all can see. What's up? Ooh. I'm going to push this back a little. There. Okay. There. You can see that. Okay. Great. So we have Archangel Chamuel has come up with the tower, and he's here to help us, to guide us through, to let here's another card that's coming up. 5 of Fire, competing goals, bothersome detail, conflict with others. So this conflict with others, this is what brings out, this is fire, not swords, thank goodness, right? Swords are, again, thoughts, communication. It's our words that we speak to ourselves, words that we're speaking about other people that we won't say out of our mouths because we're too worried about, how we're going to handle that situation. So we don't say them. But we let the hurt continue, and then it just ends up being these tower moments. How can we stop having that kind of moment in our interactions with one another? What is it that, in these moments of a conflict, which we make it into a conflagration instead of a conflict? There's the con again. Remember I said it in the last reading, and then going back to the reading prior to that, this con is a prefix. Conflict, conflagration, conduit. It's to work through something thoroughly, the whole dealio, to feel all of it. But when we do allow ourselves to feel all of it, then we have more of, instead of a swords, which is gonna hurt somebody. Somebody's gonna really get hurt. Instead, we've got the wands, which is, we have competing goals. That's going to be the case no matter what, no matter who you are. And with the deeper you get into a relationship or the longer term something is, the conflicts are going to come up. It's part of the growth process. But conflicts are something that we can get through. Remember that that prefix is a way. There is a way through this. It may seem like this, because that's our central card, right? So something has happened to cause, this differing point of view about a lot of different ways of doing things that are, and that's the other thing is there's ways that we've been doing things that no longer work. And not admitting that we're confused, not speaking up, not showing our passion. This is like a blocked up, our passion, our heart. So back to that, number 1 is the heart. Number 6 is receiving. It's receiving. It's being able to surrender to something in order to gain new information. It's being able to take things in And that's a lot of self-worth too. Do you feel like you're worthy enough to hold this angel's hand and walk off with him, know that, do you feel worthy enough that this person, this individual has you, that you can go with them and it's going to be fine? Like, yeah, all of that happened, but you know what? Let's hold hands. I'm going to hold hands with you because I know you've got me. I know that I can trust you and that we're going to work together and that we're going to talk about things as we go along. That's a much better approach here. And so we have to walk away from some things and take a better perspective, to gain a different approach. These ways that we've been handling these situations are just these walking away and like slamming a door. That's a poor man's boundary. And I'm just as guilty of that as anybody else. That's kind of my MO. When things hurt and they suck, I leave. I don't anymore. Haven't been that person for a long time. But the habit is still there, and I do on a daily basis call in my supports in order to stop being that person. Instead, I stay here. I stay exactly where I am, and I grow through the conflict. I'm not perfect at it. I'm learning. Just like you. And we are learning. We're all learning. And we're getting better. And that's the thing. We're getting better and better and better. It just feels awkward. It feels really awkward. And it feels like it's always a tower moment because it feels awkward. We're not so sure about these new ways of being. But we do. We're there. We're supported. It's just a matter of asking for that support and letting ourselves be supported. But number 6. So we can have the things, the connections, the spirit connections to the people around us. And the love that we want in our lives on every level, in every situation, in our jobs, in our careers, in our family lives, with our pets, with our neighbors. Just the love of life that, waking up every morning with that enthusiasm. It's actually there for us. It takes a lot of trust, though. It takes a lot of trust. And then, do we have the self-worth? Do we have the self-worth to know that we are universally loved, unconditionally loved? Do we love with conditions? Probably so. And that's the conflict, isn't it? We want to be loved unconditionally, yet we have a lot of conditions. Archangel Chamuel is the archangel of unconditional love too. No wonder we got 2 more. But yeah, 4 of Earth and the Queen of Water. Interesting that these would come up together. Okay. So that's these 2. The Queen of Water. Again, Queen of Cups. That's Queen of Cups in the traditional tarot. A queen who is, we have to watch our emotions. We need to rise above being in this 4 of Earth energy. So we have everything we don't have air represented here. No, I'm not looking at the bottom of the deck. I'm not being told to do that. So, yeah, being in touch with our emotions, tender-hearted. I'm seeing that right here. Patience, loving, and empathetic. Empathy is different from sympathy. We know this, right? Or if you don't, empathy is being able to walk beside somebody and allow them to carry their burden, but support them by walking with them through the journey. Sympathy is kind of trying to take it from them, kind of getting in so empathetic is different. This is a queen who doesn't get, when she's in her, less skillful aspect, of course, she, just like anybody else, will take that dive, but she's a queen. So she's a court card. This is a quality that you possess, or a quality that you admire in somebody around you. This is a quality of what does that say on the bottom here? Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. That's what I said. If we can get beyond those ways of holding on, so there's a holding on, and the Four of Earth is a balance card too, right? And she's balancing as well. She's got a lot of, she's got like, oh wow, those are actually sharks around her in the water. I don't know if you see that, but in this one, there's like sharks. Wow. She's in a pretty intense situation. But she's patient and loving and tenderhearted no matter that there are sharks surrounding her. Yeah. Yeah. Sharks. She's still loving the situation, putting love out there. And so the Four of Earth is things that are materialized. We can make it materialize into something that's of value. And the Four of Earth is, kind of like, you can get the Four of Earth, the Four of Pentacles is usually a card that is, you're holding on, again, for dear life. There is this, there's a very egoic aspect to this card, a refusal to let things go. But it also can be, something that is about, figuring out through how you feel, like balance out those emotions. Balance out through reading, feeling your emotions all the way through without being, greedy and grasping. See the small fairy who is of need here. See the small child that's in this card, this very small card. Where's the nurturing that needs to happen? This fairy is just so like greedy. She's like she's ignoring that this little fairy is malnourished and she doesn't have any clothes. Meanwhile, she's like adorned with all this stuff. We don't want to be, it's great to to treat something as though it is valuable, which is an earth aspect, but not to the detriment that we're ignoring the reality of this poor creature and the need that is in front of us. And that's where we are in conflict. We're in conflict with our heart. We're in conflict with that natural part of us that does want to be this Queen of Cups. Nurturing, empathetic, taking care of herself, although she does need to get the hell out of there. We can only be in that situation for so long, even as a queen. She would need to definitely be more, more of a major arcana. So it can feel like that. But if we hold on and we really recognize the need, the holding on in this card is actually standing out to me. Make sure you're holding on for the right reasons. What's your reasons? What's your motive? Is it in conflict with who you are authentically? What the real need is? Are you overextending yourself in order to hold on? Let the Tower moment happen. I know that can be hard to hear. Let things fall apart in order for them to come together. What are your motives for holding on? Are they no longer valid? Feel through it. Feel your way through. Be in that queenly, be empathetic. Stand by it by yourself and witness and see what is the need. What's the real feeling behind this? We can be empathetic, and we can still let things can fall apart, and we can still, be there for it and feel it and still move forward. What's the flower therapy card that I'll bring out today? Ooh, 2. This is also a Doreen ritual. Okay, yeah, balance, work, rest, and play. The yellow rose. The yellow rose is usually like jealousy. Friendship. It's important for you to have fun along with fulfilling your responsibilities. So taking a more playful approach to things and release. So yellow rose, release all anger. Snapdragon, don't give power to negative words by saying them. Speak from your higher self and make your communications peaceful and loving. Boom. I want you to be able to see that. Make your communications peaceful and loving. Not holding on, not grasping, not being tight about stuff. Take care of the small things, the small tender parts of yourself and others in communications, because you're that inner child who is, really wanting to come out and play is there. If we have anger, it's fine to speak. We can speak to our anger. It doesn't have to be a giant conflict. Like I said, the swords aren't out. The wands are, but this is a blockade. But we can release our anger. What's beneath the anger? Feel it all the way through. Don't be tight about it and holding back. Don't hold your emotions back. We can say, yes, I'm angry. Really what's underneath anger is fear. I'm afraid. That's that time. I'm afraid. I'm upset and I don't know what to do with all of these feelings, and I feel like I'm surrounded by sharks. That's actually a queenly way to say, I'm upset and I'm not sure. Like I have all these sharks. Like I need to resource something. And above her is a star. The heavens are opening to help her, to get her the fuck out of this shark infested situation. And that's speaking to our higher whatever. Those are speaking to the angels. I need help. Give me a good idea here. She's creative. And that goes to show you. She says, you know what? I'm really stuck here. I need help. I need to get creative here. I need help to get me out of here. So I'm going to create a hole above me. And that's not escapism. That's getting out of a very fraught situation and taking that step back instead of just digging yourself a deeper hole and holding on so tightly that no creativity can possibly come forward to help anyone. But we want it to be different. We want something else. We want a different kind of energy. So yeah, I am going to look at the bottom of it. 6 of water. Memories from your history or childhood, issues regarding children, romanticizing the past. 8 of water, a desire to move on, the search for something more meaningful, spiritual and emotional growth. So there's a lot of water, but then the 3 of water. It's just going to be a little bit like that right now. It's going to be, and now we've moved from a shark-infested situation to dolphins. Much better deal, right? So, it's just sifting through some memories of hurt, of resentment that has been part of the past. But if we can be a little more playful, and I see that, they're being playful. Like, this is now a different kind of child. Like, there's more play going on here. Sorry, this is itchy. So to get into a more childlike energy, even if you do have this desire to move on, and you do need to kind of move on from these kinds of conflict, but there's a lot of flow. There's a lot of flow taking us out. If we can move and flow with it, we can get to the dolphins. and a celebration. But right now it just feels a little hard. But you can do it. You can do it. I know you can. And I know I can. Well, we're all helping one another. And the more we do it for ourselves, the more we try to move to that higher vibe, yeah, speak from your higher self and make your communication peaceful and loving, then we're doing it on our small scale for our small person. We're doing it for everybody. The more we do it, the more we put out an example. And then we are the Knight of Fire. We're passionate, adventurous, self-assured, a little restless. Anyway, that's the reading. I hope it helps you in some way. And comment, like the video, share it with somebody who needs it. If you want a private reading of your own, direct message me, email me, all that good stuff. And I'm happy to talk with you one-on-one. And I love you. Take care.